AliExpress deliver my cream I bought. Oh, that the cream I bought for this dark rashes. I spent a lot. Just this one, I spent 10 euro plus. So that is money. No one I don't spend before. So deliver the cream right away. Okay. For this dark spot in my skin, my body. Deliver the that spot is coming out. Deliver the cream right away. Shame. Too much traffickers everywhere. They cannot go against it because they are equal to the task. What is what they love to do. Trafficking is their logo. First labor. What is C and yes to C, yes, rubbish. C, yes, C, yes. See, yes, indeed. See, yes, see, yes. Nonsense. Yeah, call you. See, yes, see, yes. What is it to you? Not to human traffickers. Eso no para ellos. ¿Vale? Eso no para los traficantes. Oh, yes. Are you okay in your head? Idiots. Because you are used to human trafficking. To enslave people and be stealing from them. These are rap people, shameless sort of people, criminals. Como usted también son delincuentes, igual como ellos. Maldito igualada criminales, delincuentes. So you are also equal to the task. You love to reap where you did not sow. That is the reason. Imagine you telling me it's yes. Yes to who? Idiots. Mm-hmm. As soon yes. Yeah, only yes to who? See, call. So ni. As soon see. Voilà, ya como ellos también, como ustedes son delincuentes también. You are human trafficking. So, it's very to say yes to the tonteria. It's already born. Hey, yeah, it born no. Don't even say don't born. Don't spoil. Hey. I say spoil though. Lie. And I charge. What the hell? The boy charge am. Charge your yanni. They swell up for you. To pound down. I will see. So me. Idiots. No to human traffickers. Okay? Eso no para los traficantes. It's a crime all over the world. Oh, 44. Thief phone number, thief everything. Oh, why for document when you don't build now? When I say build them, I build my document from the scratch, from level 1 to this point. I take build my document. I build my own from level 1 to this point. I take build my document. Because people, they are people. They are very used to trafficking now. So they say they all reaping where they not sow. So it's very easy for them to say, yes, because you are people you not sow. You've been stealing from me for years now. They will give you for one rule, start stealing. Maldito los Marruecos y la Helia. Pakistanis hindu. Como solo se delincuente de mierda. ¿Y por qué no es un sí? Un sí. Como ustedes son gobierno de España o gobierno de Vasco. are saying yes. Like people, you are not the government of Spain or the government of País Vasco to not say C. Slavery, trafficking, or trafficker is a crime. They are all crime all over the world. Es un crimen. Son crímenes. ¿Vale? Es un no a los traficantes. Esclavitud ya no existe, maldita seas. Esclavitud ya no existe. ¿Vale? Y la Argelia, los Marruecos, los hindú, los Pakistán, los Sahara tienen que callar su boca. Mejor cállate y deja de hablar. Usted no tiene nada aquí. Usted no es gobierno de España ni gobierno vasco. Tu país no da nada. ¿Vale? Gobierno de tu país no da nada aquí. ¿Vale? Usted también está buscando ayuda como los demás. ¿Vale? Mejor cállate. Y deja de meter con las leyes de España y del mundo, ¿eh? Tu país, todavía hay mucho esclavitud ahí, en tu país. Marruecos, Argelia, Libia, Saudi Arabia, todo esa zona. Todavía hay mucho esclavitud ahí. Muchos de mis paisanos ahí, ustedes lo están robando, ustedes están dando trabajo sin pagar, coge su sangre y coge los órganos, también los riñones en tu país. Mejor cállate, ¿eh? Cierra tu boca, ¿vale? Mejor calla. Y ya no meten esto, ¿vale? Ustedes tienen manos sucio. Tu país tiene manos sucio. Ya no meten esto, ¿vale? Deja de venir por aquí. Me dicen, un sí de qué. Tú eres gobierno vasco o gobierno de España. ¿Qué tiene aquí? Nada. Y si me habla, maldito de los Sahara. Delincuente y mala agresida. También la Argelia, Marruecos, todos ustedes. Todavía, en el año 2026, todavía hay esclavitud en tu país. En el país de ustedes, todavía esclavitud existe. Mi paisano está en tu país, trabajando ahí sin pagar. Coge su sangre, los órganos, los riñones en tu país. ¿Vale? En tu país. Todavía la esclavitud existe en tu país. Y mejor cállate. Calla tu boca. Es un no a los traficantes. Esclavitud ya no existe. Y deja de meter en la ley de España. Los leyes de España ustedes tienen que respetarlo. Y también de todo el mundo. Esclavitud existe en tu país todavía. Todavía. Por eso tú lo apoyas, porque es lo que ustedes hacen en tu país. Tú lo apoyas. Tú estás con ellos. Y también yo estoy con ustedes también. Ustedes son iguales, son un grupo. Nosotros. Maldito seas. Como ustedes son un grupo. Esclavitud es crimen. ¿Vale? Es un crimen. También los sudamericanos también. Esclavitud es un crimen. Todavía esclavitud existe en tu país. Hay que estar trabajando sin pagarle nada. Cocina limpia. Hace compra para ustedes en tu casa. A fin de mes, usted nunca paga en tu país. Y por eso lo apoya mucho, porque es lo que tú estás haciendo en tu país. Y mejor cállate y deja de matar a la gente. Ya deja de venir aquí, no soy conocer. Soy face, no sabemos que no soy conoceres. Tú sabes, esclavitud es en tu país. Viene aquí sin nada, solo sentar. Si yo te subo en una habitación, tú de que robar lo que yo tengo. Sí, esa cara. Argelia, Marruecos, Sudamericano. Tú sientas sin hacer nada. Solo viene aquí a robar. Fishing, robar, no me das cuentas. Esclavitud está en tu país. Y mejor cállate. Todavía esclavitud está en tu país todavía. Yo trabaja todo el mes, al final se le no, lleva meses, años, se le no paga. Coge su sangre, sus riñones y todos. Ujú. Y mejor cállate y deja de mentir conmigo. I said look for house, I never see house. Looking for house, never see house. Esclavitud ya no existe, ¿vale? Ya no existe. Y deja de apoyar tontería, ¿vale? Ya no apoya tontería. Esclavitud ya no existe aquí, ¿vale? Deja de apoyar tontería. No. That together need to their group and team. They work together. Yeah. I will stop by time I'll come back again. So boundaries should be enforced. Okay? Enforce boundaries. Because if you don't enforce boundaries, people they will continue doing it. So I'll come back by 10 o'clock again. So they are with them because they lost slavery. They support them. Not all Spanish. Some people are with them, while people from Arab country, they see nothing wrong with it. Yeah. Most of them from Arab country, these are Muslim people, some people, they see nothing wrong with it. So it is a normal thing to do. You gave them one room, they will start impersonating you, claiming ownership of your things. They don't have anything. Been doing it to me for years. All of that's speaking rubbish now. They are good at that thing. They only come and rent one room from you, everyone, including far. They will beg you for one room, give to them, they will start claiming ownership of all your things. And they say nothing wrong with trafficking or traffickers because it's what they do in their country. So it's their no, most not all, most of them is their normal way of life. Not all, most of them. So it's very easy for you to connect with Nigerian traffickers and form group with them. So Spanish are involved is when they just love it. Yeah, they too because they love to enslave. So they have group and team. They just love it. Me, I'm looking for a house. You just like it. They have group and team. To even to Nigeria embassy, to people working Nigeria embassy. So if you can thief my passport, till now my document is still with them. You can thief, you go and use a council application of 17 years ago to go and do passport and then to do passport. Okay, why can't you people support human traffickers? Because people are the same. Why can't you people support what do you call slave trade? Because you all are the same. People are the same. You are the same people. I bet they should my cream to me and shout. People are the same. But you, of course, you must support trafficking because you are the same people. They give you application. You say you go and look for a council application from 17 years back. Now had NI to do passport. I still pet myself like a slave, like your slave.
You are supposed to go to come and justify your miserable criminal activities. You commit crime, you want to come and justify it. Go and took a cancelled application, cancelled passport application, and then I told you to come and do passport for me. The one I gave to you, you stole it. So why can't you support human traffickers? People are the same thing. You are talking, you are still talking. Rubbish people. I look for us, I beg. Don't be shout. The point you want to come and put stain in my name. You give me 5,000 euro plus to come and pay to you people. Also seize my 1.5. They were saying trafficking. You say, no, you people are the same thing. It is trafficking. It's slavery. People are criminals. Yeah, I can put 1.5 to me. I should come and pay you 5,000 plus. You seize my 1.5 to 4. Money to put to go. Say December to go that December. You seize the money. They'll start that line. So the other people, they cannot say anything wrong with you because this way they behave, this way they operate. It is their way of life. So it is their way of life, the way they behave, the way they operate. Even people interviewing those guests in Libya and all, those people if I will advise you, normally they can't fight your battle. Anyway, they can help you to go back to Nigeria. But fight Arab people, the answer is no, because they are with Arab people. Yeah, they are with the Arab people. They are with them. They are with them.
Some people don't have some better idea. You know not. You know not. Smell. Yes.
Arab country.
I will never understand why people come on a public platform and blatantly lie in the faces of our people. It is clear that the Europeans, as well as the Arabs, are, in fact, partnered up strategically in the enslavement of our people in North Africa, Libya, Tunisia, Morocco. We know because we have heard their voices. They have spoken up. They have come forward. There is evidence. There are
Slavery exists in North Africa.
believe the lived experiences of our
They say even Tunisia, they are there. So there's nothing wrong with it. They will support them because it is what they are doing.
began a very long time ago when they infiltrated North Africa. Arab Islamic slave trade of West Africans. At least 100 million people were enslaved. That was before the transatlantic.
That's why you have Zanzibar, bro. You don't know people that live in Zanzibar, they're the descendants.
Mary tried her best to delay her fate, but this only made her boss more frustrated. She was living half a life with nowhere to go, no passport, and no ticket. She wasn't even allowed to leave the house. Her room was locked from the outside, and it was only opened when they needed her.
Okay.
But no matter how much they tried to trick her into entering the annex, Mary resisted until one day. One day, the daughter came into my room. I was shivering from fear. She wanted me to clean her shoes, and then she left. As she was leaving, I heard her talking to her mother. She said, "Why is Mary so scared? Does she know you killed her?" When I heard that, I froze. I realized my fears were real. The shoes I saw on my first day, the blood on the mattress, that's when I knew I was trapped. There was no way out. Later that day, her mother came to me directly and told me to wash the clothes and sweep the floor. I did what she asked, but when it was time to throw out the water, the old man went ahead of me into the dark annex to pray. Normally, when they had to enter the annex, he was supposed to be out. They also had a little girl, and whenever I entered the annex, she would stay behind. She wasn't allowed to come in. But this time, everything changed. Whenever I was asked to go inside to clean or throw water, the old man would go ahead of me. And remember, there were no lights in that room. It was suspicious. I refused to go inside. That's when I confirmed they kill people. By then, I had no phone. I wasn't allowed to call anyone. And when they left the house, they would lock me inside my room as usual. Mary's journey to Saudi Arabia, the journey she made to change
They
her
will
life,
they will take their phone, take everything away from them. They cannot call anybody. Some people see you calling to somebody, they'll be angry. You go in Nigeria, what you call somebody? Come and isolate me now. Now trafficking, they are working with Nigeria trafficking. You see the group Victoria. The thing that is for Victoria, Arab people with Victoria. Their group, they're into trafficking. They are all traffickers. They will still talking to somebody with a vest. What cause I you?
she said there was a bottle of water.
They will take phones away from people.
Because she was too small.
Arrest their organs.
I went with her. When I entered their house, the toilet
They are into
door was
slavery. It is
slightly
slavery.
open. Inside the toilet, I saw a red candle burning. The little girl looked at me and said, "Have you seen a zombie? Have you seen a zombie?" Hearing a little girl say that was terrifying. I picked her up and carried her downstairs to leave the house. But before we could get out, the old man came running into the house. I quickly hid behind the pillar. He didn't see me. I overheard him asking the people inside, "Have you managed to kill Mary?" When he came out, he was furious. As he went downstairs, the little girl whispered to me, "He heard you. He saw you hiding." The old man turned to me and told me to go back inside the house. I refused. I told him, No, I'm not going into that house at any cost. We argued for a long time, and then he pushed me from the second floor.
Magic.
But someone in the neighboring apartment recorded what happened. That's how the video went viral. People everywhere, filled with emotion, said, "Rest in peace, Mary." They demanded justice for Mary. Her story became the talk of the town. Her family, friends, and even strangers who saw the video shared it, saying, "May her soul rest in peace." Meanwhile, the old man went back into the house and locked the door, thinking he had succeeded. But guess what? Mary was still alive. She crawled inch by inch to her neighbor's house.
I thought I was dead, but after about 10 minutes, I realized I wasn't. I was still alive. So I started crawling to the house. The pain was unbearable. There are no words to describe it. When I reached their door, I knocked until a girl opened it. She called her bosses and they rushed me to the hospital. I spent 8 months there. While I was in the hospital, the police came and I filed the case.
Mary thought the war was over. She believed she was finally going to get justice. This time, everything seemed like it would go the way it was supposed to. She imagined seeing the old man confess in court, being prosecuted, and receiving compensation. That's how it should have been, but that's not what happened.
One day, they came to the hospital and forced me to withdraw the case. They told me there was nothing they could do to that old man. To them, whatever he did was right as long as I wasn't one of them. Then they told me it was time to leave the hospital. I begged them, saying, "I don't want to go back to that old man's house. He will kill me." But it was useless. It was like even the doctor was involved in their plan. Everything felt planned. Even in the hospital, I was still trapped with no way out of the old man's control.
Where would Mary go? The old man no longer had a case in court. Mary had no passport, no ticket, no phone, and now they wanted her out of the hospital. The only people she knew in Riyadh were the family of the old man, the one who pushed her from the second floor, the one who tried to kill her. What a terrible journey.
I couldn't believe what was happening. That day, just as I was told I'd be discharged the next day, a girl named Mariam came out of nowhere. She recorded a video of me. Please help me. My fellow Kenyans, I beg you, please take me back home. They said tomorrow they'll take me from here, and I don't know where they want to take me. Look at me now. I can't stand, move, or do anything. My Arabian boss threw me from the second floor. He thinks I am dead. Now my spinal cord is completely damaged. Kindly rescue me from him. As you see this video, I can die anytime from now.
Mariam posted the video on social media. What? Is she still alive? Everyone asked. Things got serious. A campaign was launched to rescue Mary and find justice for her. The Kenyan embassy was contacted to follow up on Mary's case urgently. Finally, the police took Mary out of the hospital and arranged for her to be flown back to her motherland, Kenya. She returned in a wheelchair, but at least she was alive.
It was a mix of emotions. People cried when they saw me. They cried because I left as a normal, healthy, beautiful girl and I came back in a wheelchair. But they were also happy because I survived. I survived the impossible.
Mary is back. But what about justice? According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Everyone has the right to freedom of movement. But those words, written in 1948 by the United Nations, seem meaningless for people like Mary.
I don't think there is a human rights in this world. No way.
We must stop this. As women from this country, we must stop this.
I will not stop this business because I'm helping myself and I'm helping the other people.
When I reached Kenya, I thought the struggle was over, but it was just the beginning. The father of my children saw me return in the wheelchair and he left instantly. No one knows where he went. My family tried to support me, but they couldn't handle everything. Not with my 3 children. It felt like I had become a burden to them. So I left and started struggling alone. I tried to take my own life several times, but then I thought about everything I had survived, and I couldn't imagine leaving my kids behind. Maybe there's a reason why I survived all of this.
Now, Mary eats only when her 15-year-old daughter washes clothes for others and brings food home.
My mother went to Saudi Arabia and promised us a better life when she came back. We believed that she was dead for 8 months until they brought her back in a wheelchair. We were happy to see her alive, but it broke us to see her in this condition. She can't do anything on her own. I'm 15.
Why not
but
support
I
it?
had to learn
It'll be the
how
same
to
thing.
fight for my family. With no father and no other support,
Why not support it?
everything relies
It'll be the
on
same thing.
I can't study.
Mary tried her best to delay her fate, but this only made her boss more frustrated. She was living half a life with no.
This slavery is not something that Muslims should be ashamed of. Slavery in Islam is true. Prisoners of wars, none Muslims, disbelievers, we enslave them. Oh, this is against human rights. This is human rights. How? He is a slave. He's like an animal being sold and bought and not having rights. Yes, but this is for his sake. I am amazed of people being dragged to paradise in chains. Who would be dragged in paradise in chains? Everybody goes to paradise willingly. The Prophet is giving us a metaphor. They were enslaved, so they were in chains. And these chains, slavery is not something that Muslims should be ashamed of. Slavery in Islam is true. Prisoners of war.
The chains did not come off when the desert crossing ended. For thousands of enslaved Africans forced across the Sahara, arriving at the slave markets marked the beginning of an even darker chapter. Exhausted, dehydrated, and often wounded from the brutal journey, survivors were gathered in crowded trading centers across North Africa and parts of the Middle East. Cities like Tripoli, Cairo, Timbuktu, and Marrakesh became major hubs of human trade. Here, human lives were displayed as commodities. Men, women, and children were forced to stand or kneel before traders and buyers. Their bodies were inspected like livestock. Teeth were checked to estimate age and strength. Muscles were examined to determine labor potential. Some were branded. Others were beaten if they resisted. Families who survived the desert together were often separated forever during these auctions. Mothers were torn from children. Husbands were sold far from their wives. Siblings vanished into different households or regions, never to see each other again. For many, their identity ended at that market. Their names were replaced, their language forbidden, their culture erased. Once sold, enslaved Africans were forced into different forms of labor, depending on what buyers demanded. Many men were sent into harsh physical labor. They worked in salt mines, plantations, construction projects, and caravan transport systems. The work was exhausting and dangerous. Injury or sickness often meant abandonment or death. Women were frequently forced into domestic servitude, where they cleaned homes, cooked, or served elite households. Many were also subjected to sexual exploitation, stripped of control over their own bodies and lives. Children were raised in servitude, trained from a young age to serve the households or estates of their owners. Generations grew up knowing nothing but bondage. Among the most horrifying practices was the widespread castration of enslaved African males. Young boys and men were often mutilated to create eunuchs, enslaved servants who were considered less threatening and easier to control. Eunuchs were frequently used to guard royal courts, harems, and elite households. The process was extremely dangerous and brutally performed without proper medical knowledge or anesthesia. Many victims died from infection, blood loss, or shock. Historical accounts suggest that only a small number survived the procedure. Those who survived lived the rest of their lives physically altered, unable to have families, their lineage permanently erased. This practice also reduced the chances of enslaved populations reproducing independently, ensuring continued reliance on slave trading networks. Beyond physical suffering, enslaved Africans faced systematic attempts to erase their identity. Languages were banned. Traditional religions were suppressed. Cultural practices were replaced with the customs of slave-owning societies. Some enslaved Africans were forced to convert to new religions or adopt new cultural identities under pressure or punishment. Over time, entire ancestral connections were lost. But even under these conditions, many enslaved Africans resisted quietly, preserving songs, memories, spiritual beliefs, and traditions in secret. These hidden acts of resistance helped fragments of African culture survive across regions. Life expectancy for many enslaved Africans was brutally short. Hard labor, malnutrition, disease, and violence claimed countless lives. Many died without burial rites, without family, without their stories recorded. Yet some survived, forming new communities over generations. Their descendants carried fragments of lost histories, languages, and cultural memories that still echo today across parts of North Africa and the Middle East. The chains did not come off when the desert crossing ended. For thousands of enslaved Africans forced across the Sahara, arriving at the slave market.
Let's talk about a chapter of history many don't know enough about. The Arab-Muslim slave trade.
Even till now, they don't.
Long,
Till
painful,
today.
and powerful and unique.
Give them one room to rent. They'll claim ownership of your thing. Rent room. The person that they own of your thing. Till today, see, is the same in their brain.
Shortly after the rise
All of this till today.
its constituted
Sahara people,
various
Algeria,
over 1,000
Sahelia, Morocco,
years and
Los
in
Hindu,
about
Pakistanis.
20th
Slavery see, is still in their blood.
Created over several
Criminals who they are. Go digging.
Saharan trade, moving people across the Sahara from
Anna,
Sudan
Sahara
and
trade.
Central Africa into the North Africa and the Middle East. The Red Sea, Indian Ocean slave trade.
Yeah, Indian Ocean. It's till today.
Places like Zanzibar, present-day now Tanzania, Kenya, Mozambique, into Arabia, Persia, and beyond. It's estimated between 10 to 18 million Africans were enslaved in the Arab-Muslim slave trade over the centuries.
More till
The
today.
trade didn't just mean
Till
people
today.
taken away. There
Give
was
them room to
death,
rent.
brutality, loss of
They'll
family,
reclaim ownership of your house.
culture,
They cannot say that room what you are saying. Leave there. The room belongs to people like us. You go to that side.
slavery under many Muslim majority societies.
Give them room to rent. They will focus on your flat.
Legal and
So it's very easy to support traffickers. As you see call. Who know ni? As you go you slap.
religious texts,
Not to me, eh?
culture, and
So no na dia ke. So no go no the Spaniard go no Vasco. Ni Sahara ni Marruecos ni Argelia ni ustedes. A mí no me dice conmigo, eh. Eso con ustedes. Maldito seas. Y después de mierda. No sé con ustedes, eh. Para que sepa.
Saudi Arabia
Esa sola.
officially abolished slavery in 1962 under a royal decree by King Faisal.
They are happy doing it. Even till today. Till today. To this minute.
1981. Though enforcement lagged
Slavery runs in their veins.
and it's important because this trade showed that slavery was not just about skin color. Though race became involved, it was about labor, skill, and profit.
Labor. First labor. First
Strong
journey.
skills or bodies seen as useful, they were targeted.
You never know
The
them.
Africans were forced into Muslim under different pressures. Just like Christianity, religion sometimes was part of how slavery spread. Zanzibar, off the coast of East Africa, was once a central hub of Arab slave trade. Yes. And also slavery in Saudi Arabia wasn't abolished until 1962, which is more recent than many people.
See today, he's doing it. See this minute.
One-sided. When people talk
Even
about
inside
slavery,
Victoria
they
Spain,
just hear about the transatlantic
give them one
story.
room to rent.
The Arab-Muslim trade is
They will
part
tell
of
you
our past
all this
too.
thing that belongs to them.
Remember to teach this to younger
We
people.
do like this.
Our
See
history
today.
is more than just what's shown in popular textbooks.
Very easy if we to support human South Africa. They are sticking to the group. They are one group.
Respect our ancestors, heal. History is hard, but facing what was done, the full truth is the path to freedom. The Arab-Muslim slave trade lasted over 1,300 years.
No, not even lasted. They still continue. They are still doing it though. Not last. They still exist in this very century. It's everywhere. When they say now they can easily to support Spanish and Nigeria because it is in their blood to a slave. To reap what they not so. It is in their blood. Criminals.
Arab-Muslim slave trade.
You never know them.
Talk about a chapter of history many.
We're shocked to find this woman offering to sell us a child. The young girl seems withdrawn and confused.
The Arabs took more women than men, partly to fill the harems of the Ottoman Empire and other Islamic lands, so that the societies left in the African savannah tended to have an excess of men and children. The Atlantic slave trade took more men than women, using slaves principally for plantation labor, so that the West African society...
See today, give them room to rent. Say they are the owner of all your things. You are working to be hacking and packing everything. See today. See today. Great room with say they ask today. Let's know Africante. Uno austeres. Es uno. Vale, uno austeres. No es sí. Es uno. No to traffickers. Es uno. Vale, es uno. Get me? Es uno austeres. Solo tirando de aquí. Es uno austeres. Todos austeres juntos. Los árabes sacan a Marruecos, Argelia, Indio, Pakistán. O sea, es uno austeres. A ver, los nigerianos. Es uno austeres. Uno. Uno austeres, eh? Uno.
The Arabs took more women than men, partly to fill the harems of the Ottoman
Idiot.
Empire
Even
and
today,
other
they exist.
lands, so that the societies left
Criminals
in the
everywhere.
African savannah tended to
See,
have an
today,
excess
see,
of men
exist.
and children. The Atlantic
You have
slave
nothing. You are
trade took
interfering.
more men than women, using
Doing your
slaves
face like my face.
principally for
You not
plantation
become the
labor,
owner of my
so
things.
that the West
Es uno
African
austeres. Uno
societies
austeres.
where slaves were taken had
Uno.
an excess of women and children. The Arabs took more
Traficante.
women than men, partly to
Es
fill
uno
the
austeres.
harems of the
Traficante de
Ottoman
mierda.
Empire and other Islamic lands,
Que
so
slavery
that
don't
the
exist anymore.
societies
Es uno
left in the
austeres.
African savannah
Uno
tended to have an
austeres.
excess of men and children. The
Un
Atlantic
grande
slave
no
trade
austeres,
took
eh?
more men
Pero ustedes
than women,
juntos.
using
Argelia,
slaves
Marruecos,
principally for plantation labor,
Sahara,
so that the West
Pakistan,
African
y
societies
ustedes.
from which slaves were taken
A ver, los
had an
nigerianos,
excess of
africanos,
women and children.
marito muro
The Arabs
negro
took more
y
women
cedo
than men,
negro. O sea,
partly
es
to fill
uno
the
ustedes, todos
harems
ustedes
of the
uno.
Ottoman Empire and
Es
other
uno
Islamic
ustedes.
lands, so that the
Ah, pues sí,
societies left in
cosini.
the African savannah tended to have an excess of
Nonsense.
men and children. The Atlantic
See, today,
slave trade
yes,
took
today.
more men than women, using slaves principally for
Give
plantation
me someone
labor,
one room for years.
so
The
that the
criminal
West
shop of
African
what's going on.
societies from which slaves were taken
Do you
had
know
an
me before?
excess
Do I
of
know
women
you?
and children.
Are you the owner?
The
Criminals.
Arabs took more women than men, partly to
Es
fill the
uno ustedes,
harems of
eh?
the Ottoman
Uno
Empire
ustedes,
and
es
other
uno
Islamic
ustedes.
lands,
Es
so
uno
that the
ustedes.
societies left in the African savannah tended to have an excess of
Idiots. Africa made for sale. Yeah, claro. For sale.
In the Gulf, women employed as domestic workers are being sold online via apps approved and provided by Google and Apple. It's been called an online slave market.
Eso ustedes, eh? Ustedes nada. Déjale ver con mi número, con mi programa, eh? Mi páginas. Ya no me tengo ni TikTok, ni Facebook, ni YouTube, Australian, you are not welcome here. As soon as no to you all. You are not welcome. As soon as I heard a minute. As soon as you are not welcome. As soon as as soon as go digger, slave master.
Domestic workers online.
Vete a trabajar. Vete a hacer lo tuya. Vete a robar de Los Angeles. Robar de Marruecos. Robar de Sahara. Ahora sí de Pakistán. Vete a robar de ellos. Vete a African hacer ellos. Vale, es uno a ustedes. Uno a ustedes.
App users were violating national and international law on modern slavery, human trafficking, and forced labor.
They are traffickers, eh?
They were also denying domestic workers their basic human rights.
So there is a neighborhood in Gaza, on the Gaza Strip, where 11,000 Afro-Palestinians live.
Wicked people.
During the sub-Saharan slave trade or the Arab slave trade,
Even Tina, Tina. They call modern slavery. Tina. Get a room to rent. You know who they are. Tina. See today, this minute. Tina. That's on my YouTube. And then my YouTube. They bring one person and they lay. See now. TikTok as well. See now. Facebook are there for see now.
Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq. That's what they did. India as well. And forced us to worship their God.
India involved in slave trade.
And now black people.
As you have black Indians everywhere.
The Arabs are still selling us.
They were there.
Slaves.
India was there.
During the sub-Saharan slave
Pakistan, all of them were there.
They forced Islam on us.
You see, you have black among them.
Normally, they beat that into us.
All from Africa.
Predated this transatlantic slave trade. And notice they did it to the Israelites. They went into Africa, conquered us all out, North Africa.
Even in my country too. They had a jihad and then
exactly. Then they sent us as slaves to Saudi Arabia.
See today. They are on my YouTube, on my Facebook, TikTok, everything today.
Forced us to worship their God called Allah.
See today they are here.
Think it's normal. But the Arabs are still selling us as slaves.
See today.
During the sub-Saharan slave trade,
where's we see? Wow, go. As who know?
They beat that into
Vale, who know?
That predated this transatlantic slave trade. And notice they did it to the Israelites. They went into Africa, conquered us all out, North Africa.
Yeah.
my country too. They had a jihad and then
Exactly.
As who know, eh? Who know?
Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan,
Who know, eh?
and Iraq. That's
Who
what they did
know?
India as well. And forced us to worship their God called Allah.
Uh-huh.
And now black people
were forced to become Muslim people through slavery. Yeah.
During the sub-Saharan slave trade or the Arab slave trade,
they were forced to worship Allah.
That wasn't something we grew
Why some were forced to become a Christian?
That into us, the Arabs. That predated this transatlantic slave trade. And notice they did it to the Israelites. They went into Africa.
Israel. Israel, I swear, Israel.
Exactly. Then they sent us as slaves.
Israel.
Arabia, Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq.
See, today they are still here. See, this minute. YouTube and YouTube, they are there. TikTok, they don't want to talk about control it. Facebook, they are there. See, today they are everywhere.
During the sub-Saharan slave trade or the Arab slave trade, they forced Islam on us.
So it's very easy. When they say this from Nigeria, from anywhere, they will support them. Yeah, because it is their blood.
Transatlantic slave trade.
As who know ourselves, who know ourselves.
They went into Africa, conquered us all out, North Africa.
Even in my country too. They had a jihad and then
exactly. Then they sent us as slaves to Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq. That's what they did. India as well. And forced us to worship their God called Allah. And now black people think it's normal.
First journey.
The Arabs are still selling us as
Es uno a ustedes, uno a ustedes. Go, do my YouTube. You do one what? I'll yari.
They beat that into us, the Arabs. That predated this transatlantic slave trade. And notice they did it to the Israelites.
Es uno a ustedes.
Conquest for all now.
You do one. Go. I'll give them one to teach my kids. I call it one for now, one for our children.
Afghanistan.
Ese es el acá por usted para sus hijos, ¿no?
India as well.
Porque te está hablando. Usted no es de aquí. Tú eres gobierno de España, gobierno vasco. Mejor cállate. Es uno, deja de botar a la gente. Es uno, ustedes. Uno a los árabes, Arab esclavitud. Ellos esclava. Es uno a los árabes traficantes. Es uno a ellos. Uno a los nigerianos. Uno a los africanos. Uno a los españoles. Uno a todos ustedes. Uno. Pues sí, cosini.
They had a jihad and then. Exactly. Then they sent us as slaves to Saudi Arabia.
Uno a ustedes. Españoles, esclavitud. Uno. Arab, esclavitud. No. Argelia, Marruecos, todos ustedes. Sácara, es uno. Ustedes nigeriano es uno. África, sobre todo el mundo, es uno esclavitud. Traficante es uno a ustedes. Uno. Y mejor cállate.
That wasn't something we grew up knowing normally. They beat that into us, the Arabs. That predated this transatlantic slave trade. Come with me, Wolf.
Why? Why do I have to cover?
Okay, firstly,
To the point you were forcing Islamic into my platform. And you be saying Allah. The way you force Allah to them to become Muslim. You force them to be worshiping your God, Allah. I gave you one route to rent. You are forcing Islamic Allah to another person business platform.
You see, in Africa, I hate to talk about religion. Be careful. Religion is a business.
Now business,
They sell God.
slave trade.
The business works very well for whoever sets up.
Religion now is that slave trade. And they come back. I'll call it when they come back. Religion in Africa, Arab countries, is a slave trade. Yeah, it's a business to enslave people. Yeah, and a slave trade, eh? Es uno a ustedes, uno pastors. Es uno a ustedes. Uno. También Israel, even Israel. Uno. Oh, es un sí, cosini. Oh, agua.
That we have a lot of people who claim to be
Después de mierda.
and practicing voodoo. And they're doing the business, the same business as the
Now business.
They're trying to turn it into
Business of slavery.
spirituality. Nobody can teach it to you. You need to get the fundamentals of any books, any spiritual system.
Yeah, they are selling their own God. They said their God to you. Yeah, that they will say their God to you. Say their word, their life to you. They want to establish their policy and their own personal law into your own personal life. As you know, I say so. Uno a ustedes. Capital no a ustedes. Religion is business, is slavery. You guys see me? Go. Even till today, I cannot give you one room to rent. You are there impersonating me. Who does that? Only you people. Criminal. You go and bring your God to my platform. I should be saying Allah. Allah Akubaru. It's my business. Go digger fool. As you know, ustedes. You are talking, Who tell you see? Who do anything here? As you know, Captain no. Arab, who know ustedes, eh? As you know. ¿Vale? You no sé de tu grupo. Soy diferente a ustedes. Soy de tu grupo, ¿eh? Es uno a ustedes. Después de mierda, llevas años robándome, fingiendo ser yo. Maldito impostores de mierda. Uno a ustedes, ¿eh? Capita, no. Capita, no, ¿eh? Capita, no. Capita, no. Uno ustedes. Capital no. Okay? Let me go and come back. Capital what? No. No to slavery. Include the Arab people. They can fikin, no se con ustedes. Ya no fikin. Yo no quiero ustedes. Yo sí te odio. Yo odio tu karate. I hate your behavior. Es un no. Yo te odio. Es capital no. Yo sí te odio. I hate your behavior. Capital no. Vale, I hate your behavior. Criminals. Yo sí te odio. Eso me evidente. Yo te odio a ustedes. Capital no. Vale, no soy cruce. Soy faith. Soy yo de todos. Yo odio a ustedes. Capital no. Vale, es un no a ustedes. Un no a ustedes. Capital no.